Hello there, and happy Thursday to all of you. It is the second to last Thursday of Women's History Month, and we've been talking all month long about the importance of attracting and retaining women in industry, especially in engineering. And today's topic is going to support that vision and that goal because we're talking about the importance of social support. My name is Caroline Milton. I am the owner of Milton Coaching Collective. I come from a background in engineering myself, and now I help organizations and individuals prevent burnout through incorporating change in how we work and how we live. We do this with an approach to change management that also supports holistic productivity. So let's talk about social support and why this is so important in the workplace. The ABCs of burnout prevention, as Paula Davis writes in her book, Beating Burnout at Work, are autonomy, belonging, and competence. All of us in every role within industry want to be able to work autonomously. That does not mean working in isolation. That means being able to work in the way that flexes your strengths and your working style. And we want to be able to belong within our organization. We want to have that sense of belonging, whether that's through alignment with the values of the organization, or if that is in social support and strong relationship with our peers, or both. And then the C is competence. We want to be acknowledged for our competence, the way that we're contributing to the goals of the team, the mission of the organization. And so that is at the core of each of us and how we're showing up in our work day in and day out. We want to be able to work autonomously. We don't want to be micromanaged. We want to have the support when needed. We want to have that social support, strong support within our organization, and then we want to be recognized for our competence. So let's zone in on social support and the importance of this. One of the driving contributors to burnout is isolation and a lack of social support. This can sometimes come from a lack of awareness of our biases, in that we don't allow ways of working that are supportive of the people within our organization. So if we aren't asking the question of what do our employees need in order to work well, then we might be missing some really key undercurrents that are contradicting productivity within our workplace. So this doesn't necessarily fold into benefits or perks of working for an organization or policies, but it can, right? So things like parental leave, PTO, these are ways that the organization provides social support to say, hey, I know you need to be able to take care of your business in ways that are flexible outside of work. And so here are some opportunities to do that. Those are two examples. But social support also comes in the team dynamic. So teams that have strong psychological safety, that have strong social support, are more willing and more likely to think creatively and innovatively about how to solve problems and how to reach their goals and milestones. Because that safety, that psychological safety is in place, team members are more willing to take risks. They're more willing to voice ideas or concerns that might really skyrocket the potential of the team or really harm the team in the long run. When we're creating that sense of safety, then the team can work collaboratively. They can identify when workload is unevenly distributed and then work to ensure that all working strengths and styles are leveraged to the greatest productivity possible within the team. So, how then can you start to create social support within your teams? I've brought 5 ways that you can begin to create social support within your teams, whether you are a team leader or a member of the team, in order to begin to shift your team's experience of burnout and improve your team's productivity across the board. So, number 1, identify overwhelm of workload and work pressure and seek to redistribute across the team. So, this requires not only having conversations, but also making observations. So, is there a role or an individual or a group that is overtasked and cannot hit their milestones and objectives because they are overtasked? Is there a way to redistribute that workload in order to allow the team to work even more cohesively? Number two, acknowledge contributions from all team members, even if they aren't pursued. So, in brainstorming sessions, in meetings, when team members voice ideas, acknowledge them. Don't just brush past them, even if they're not the direction that you're wanting to go as a unit. Acknowledge those ideas. You never know when they might be useful. Again, in the future, the ideas, the people are always useful, right? So acknowledge those contributions. We all want to be recognized and acknowledged for the ways that we're showing up. And by acknowledging those contributions, you're more likely to invite those individuals into further creative brainstorming in that meeting and then again in the future. Number three, celebrate and recognize taking risks. Taking risks is where we grow, right? When we get uncomfortable, that is when we grow. That's true on an individual level. That's true on a team level. That's true on an organizational level. But yet, risks are scary. Change is hard. And so we want to recognize and celebrate every time an individual takes a risk, even if it doesn't pan out, and also every time a team takes a risk. These can be really valuable teaching moments for the team to say, hey, we took a risk, or this individual took a risk. Let's see what we can learn from this situation, because everything provides an opportunity to gather information, gather data, right, and apply it again in the future. Number four is seek to understand working styles and strengths across your team, right? As we continue to create more and more diverse working environments, that is going to provide an opportunity for more diversity in working styles and strengths. And each can be leveraged into a really productive and cohesive team as long as we're aware of what working styles and strengths are. Again, this provides phenomenal social support because it recognizes the individual contributor and how they work best, right? So this again comes from conversation, from observation, and from really working to ensure that the teams that we're building are complementary and not just all versions of the same person. Number five, create trust through constructive feedback. Early on in my career, I worked for PepsiCo, and one of the very first things that they taught us in our onboarding was how to give and receive feedback. This has been one of the most valuable things that I have learned in my career because it has helped me to become a really supportive team member and a great team leader. I mean, like, I don't mean to have too much ego in that statement, but giving and receiving feedback is crucial, whether you're a leader or a member of a team, because again, it creates that psychological safety and that social support because we understand that this feedback is constructive and it's moving us towards a greater goal. So those are 5 ways that you can begin to shift your team environment, whether you're an individual contributor or the leader of the team, into one that is more cohesive, more productive, and less burnout. Next week, we will be back with our final video of Women's History Month with Engineering Your Energy. If you have any questions for me about organizational burnout, about individual burnout, shoot me a DM. Let's chat in DMs. I'd be happy to share some resources with you, or you can ask for a call. We can hop onto a call to talk through some of the things that you or your team are struggling with. Happy to do so. I will be back next Thursday. Hope to see you then. Until then, give me a follow. Follow my page, follow my hashtag Transforming Tired, and that way you can stay up to date on all content I'm bringing your way. Bye.